We need to be a powerful voice. We need to be unstoppable. We have to voice out if something wrong is happening, if something which is not so delightful is happening, we have to put an end to it. You know, there was this story, it came out of the Ukraine and Russia war that's been happening. So there was this Indian girl, a 17-year-old Indian girl who had gone over there to study, and she was staying in the house of a Ukrainian, and the Ukrainian has 2 3 children. And when he had to go out to war, because that's the way the Ukrainians, they all got together. So when he had to go out to war, and she had an option of because help was being sent from India for the Indian students, and she could have taken the flight and come back home safe and sound. But the young 17-year-old girl from Haryana, India, chose to stay back and look after the children of the Ukrainian gentleman who had gone out to war. This, my friends, is the spirit that I'm talking about. If we are around them and if we are there, this is how we can put an end to war. By helping, we don't think about gender, we don't think about caste, we don't think about community, we don't think about the country. It's not about us, it's about them. It's about all of us being together one. We are all united. We all have the same blood running in us. We belong to different countries. We have different colors. That's okay. We look differently at times. That's also okay. We speak different languages. That's also okay. But we are all one. And that is something that we really need to keep in mind. We, my dear ladies and gentlemen, able excellencies, we don't need successful people, or we don't need success stories now. What we need is, we need people who are healers. We need people who are storytellers. We need people who are empathetic. We need people who spread compassion and spread love. Let's make this world a beautiful place to be in for everyone. Let's heal the world and make it a beautiful place for you and for me and the entire human race. And so what if I'm a dreamer and you're a dreamer? If we dream it, we can definitely achieve it. So thank you so much for having me here. And this truly is a very wonderful initiative. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for your powerful message. And yes, all of us together one with the belief. And yes, that what I noted today is Sister Bilma focus on the sharing peace message. You are sharing that how can we build a mental health through musical therapy or other way. And that I noted. Thank you so much. And this kind of message we want to implement, to improvise the peace in our world. Thank you so much, sister, for being with us. And move on to the next speaker right now. So I would like to give my gratitude towards the next speaker. She is one of the influential personal educator. Whenever I have a chance to share, she has always been there. So why I'm waiting here? So move on to the next speaker. I would like to call the next speaker of today, Dr. Sujatha Singh, all the way from India. Sister, floor is yours.
Thank you so much, and a warm namaste to all of you across the world. Yes, when we talk about peace and when we talk about world peace, there are two different aspects which comes to my mind. Peace is a birthright. It's a human right, a basic human right. And somewhere that has been triggered into something which is violent. And we as humans are born with peace. Why this transformation? Why this transition towards the negative aspects of life? And I, Dr. Sujatha Singh, who is also a music and a sound therapist, as a musician, here again, I would say that if a human being does not have music, art, and literature in them, they are no better than wild animals. So I guess we need to be stepping up to understand what are the sensitivities are that which has been hurt right now. What are those aspects which is our birthright being affected now? And how we can empower ourselves to be not in the front, but be those vibrations behind these people whose mental capacities have been compromised. What could be the reason for a war? Political reasons, yes, coming from a background of politics, I would say there would be many reasons. And everybody would definitely justify that why they are going into a war. But at the end of the day, peace leads to prosperity and wars lead to worries. So which equation are we following right now? As human beings, we need to understand each and every word that we bring out from our mind is also a vibration. And if all of us together could raise our vibrations through meditation, through the songs, through the art, to the culture, we would definitely be able to radiate it to those people who have had a mindset of war and not peace. Now, peace, when we talk about, often people think that peace is something for the timid. A person who talks about peace is somebody who doesn't want to show their courage. But there's a lot of courage when a person speaks about peace. And all the people here who have brought up such wonderful thoughts shows that we are here with courage. But we use the weapon of peace. Peace because it's our birthright, and the whole of this world is here just because there has been an element of peace which has been reigning even in the times of war. Imagine a place where there are children dying, where there's bloodshed. How can the other people in the other part of the world not be affected? This whole world is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. And this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam word itself says that there is a God in every being, and the essence of God in each being makes it a whole family. When we are the children of the same family, how can there be bloodshed? And how can there be peace when there is a bloodshed in one part of the world? There are various ways that people say that we are justifying our wars, but that is not going to give any clarifications for this heinous act of mankind. Also, when we talk about vibrations, we also need to understand that if we go into a state of fear, we are only going to give more power to the greed of the person of the country which is in war. Two aspects of life which needs to be handled well on a regular basis is fear and greed. Be fearless, be courageous, stand with peace, and let go of the greed. And this will be able to understand our own selves and raise our vibrations. Raising our vibrations is going to enable us to step up with courage and radiate it in a very subtle manner. Science has proven that when there are 30% of the people in a group of 100 meditating, the rest of the 70 automatically start moving towards better understanding of self, going into a state of being compassionate, more loving, more kind. And this thought forms, radiates and multiplies, creating a rippling effect. When it was done amongst the jail inmates, it was found that all those crimes which were being created, which were being put up, which were being worked upon, were actually reducing when they were taught to meditate. So one of the most important things which I would like to share here is we all need to understand that we hold the weapon of meditation, which is stronger than any gun, any cannon, any sword, or anything which kills mankind. Why not use that? Why not raise our vibrations? Each of us can at least chant the grace of God. Need not go into any mantras. It's perfect. Just the grace of God be on mankind. And that is definitely going to create a rippling effect. As a spiritual scientist and a music therapist, I will doctorate in music therapies. I would say that if we are together, nothing is impossible. And in togetherness, we do not have to move away from our places. We can sit and meditate, release out the cosmic energies, and we are definitely going to see a happy, peaceful world because we choose peace, because we choose to be in the power of peace, and because we know it is our birthright. Nothing but peace is what we want and we own. Namaste, and thank you once again. And thank you for bringing me on this particular platform. Thank you once again.
And this is how this speaker shared one of the great and powerful way, how can we build the peace around the world? Yes, I noted this point and I will definitely work on it. And I'm just sharing this. I have found already 3 core points from 3 speakers, and this one is another great one. Inner vibrations of positivity through meditation. Hopefully I will do so. Let's see what will there others, and I will definitely focus on that. This should be continue for the rest of the life. Thank you, Honorable, for your powerful output. So let's move on to the next speaker. So he's another prominent personal. He is always be there where counseling are here. We always be there where positive energy need to enrich. He's always be there where some world record breaking activities are going to held. So without further ado, I would like to call our next speaker of today, Dr. Professor Raghunath Parakal, all the way from India. Sir, floor is yours.
Thank you, my dear brother Noor, Dr. Sujatha Singh, and I can see the great Rajesh sir also and all other friends all over the world. Noor sir, if I really declare war against you, right? Got the point now? I have to check myself whether my mind is perfect or not. This is the first concept I have to evaluate myself. Sujatha ma'am, I am basically a psychologist. This is the first message we want to tell all the friends. Noor sir, related to the mind, there can be two kinds of decisions. One is momentary. Rajesh sir, one is momentary. Second thing, we are thinking, and taking a decision and going for vengeance, etc. Got the point, no, sir? See, through the momentary decisions, of course, there are certain aspects of peace breaking, like when it is coming to the point of suicide, anger, criminal activities, rape. Of course, the momentary decisions influences the concerned person. Whereas in the case of the second kind of people, they really think certain things, and end of the particular time, they take decisions and declare war. Am I right? Got the point, Noor sir? See, the thing is, this kind of people doesn't have, first, not the empathy, sympathy at all. Sympathy. Yes, it is also needed. Sujatha ma'am, it is also required. Am I right? A sympathy towards human beings. We get so many human beings all over the world, but the humanity you could not find, Noor sir. That is the problem. Humanity you are not able to find out. So sympathy should be there. And naturally, the person who is having sympathy will be developing to the second thing. It is nothing but empathy. See, these things, the leaders also should develop. That means leaders' emotional quotients are not at all balanced. Actually, that's how tough leaders are creating the problems all over the world. Noor said between India and Bangladesh, there is a border. Border is not created by the nature. It is created by the leaders. Yes or no? Actually, for ruling the country, it is good. But there should not be any border between the two countries mentally. Got the point? Because of the water issues and other issues, and see, you know that the peaceful atmosphere is totally lost. Kalpana ma'am also will agree. One of my old friend, I can see her also. See, the thing is, Rajarao sir, before sitting into the leader's chair, they should have a training. That is what I want to tell you. The leader should have, right? To rule the country, to rule the panchayat, they should have really the training. See, there is an institute called Kila in Kerala. They even give training to the panchayat president, panchayat members, block members, etc. Likewise, the training should be there for development of emotional quotient. If I have such a feeling, I will not have Noor brother, India is okay, Bangladesh is not okay. That means it is an ego concept. And once Noor brother is thinking that Bangladesh is okay, and Rajesh Rao sir or the Hyderabad is not okay, then that is also a big problem. Am I right? When we feel that Bangladesh is also not okay, India is also not okay, then it's a very big problem. That is what is happening all over the world. We should develop a feeling that Bangladesh is also okay, and India is also okay, and I am okay. Rajarao Salur is also okay. Such a kind of mental attitude, or rather the emotional quotient to be developed, not only in average human being, it should be trained for the leaders. See, Noor, brother, I want to ask you one interesting thing. Any sannyasis declared war against anybody? Any great teacher declared war against anybody? Our Raja
Absolutely.
Rao sir declared
Absolutely
war
not.
against anybody?
No.
Any psychologist declared war against anybody? Got the point?
Yes.
See, actually, it is not the education. It is the emotional quotient, because sannyasis or the great gurus may not have the education, but they have got great emotional quotient. Agreed. Any good religious leaders, they will not declare war. Instead of that, they try to settle the issue by talking each other or by the communication. So, kind request is to all the leaders, compromise your ego. That edging the God out from the mind, please don't have that kind of ego. Instead of that, you really open your ears got open, or eyes got open, so that you get the real wisdom. If you have such a kind of feeling, no, brother, I want to tell you, yes, we can find out solution for any issues. Raja Rao sir, I really thankful for you to inviting me for such a kind of session. Indirectly, I told everything, because directly when you are saying certain problems now, no, brother, it is a problem always. So I don't want to say, see, our leaders or other people should be educated emotionally. It doesn't mean that really the education will get you to the emotional question. It is something different. Education, if you have a person with, PhD, it doesn't mean that Rajarao sir is having emotional question. So emotional quotient education can help, or rather the empathy and sympathy, compromising the ego. Yes, that is good. That is the solution which I can tell. As far as a psychologist, I'm connected with the mind. I think I have concluded exactly the time. No, brother, I used to, always keep the time. Thank you once again, Raja Rao sir and Noor sir, for inviting me. Thank you.
We are really honored to have you, because all your speech is so interactive. Even we can feel that this should think we are just focusing on our imagination, and you are just forcing us to think the imagination. You are also using that. Please don't be egoistic, be empathic and sympathetic, and break the border of mind. Thank you so much, Honorable, for your great input. So move on to the next speaker. So I would like to call the next speaker of today. So yes, I'm going to focus you all of the international dignitaries that today we are gathered to share the peace. Today we are gathered to improvise. Which are the way we can use to improvise the peace? Which are the challenges we have been facing? But more than we have to think about the way rather than the challenging. So I would like to call the next speaker today, the speaker, Dr. Inga Jersilova from Georgia. Honorable Inga Jersilova from Georgia. Are you there? Inga, Honorable Inga ma'am, are you there? I think the network issue, it may happen, so move on to the next speaker. So I would like to call the next speaker of today, Dr. Clarence Peter. Dr. Clarence Peter, sir, floor is yours. Well, I think maybe the network issue. Can you please assure me that the speaker is there? All right. But our speaker, Inga Zarsilova, is available. You can see the in participant list. Okay, then I have to move to hand over my lovely sister. Maybe you are guessing who is that? Yeah, she is my one of the lovely sister, Madhvi Bose, all the way from India. And Madhvi Bose, sister, thank you so much. Because of your late, I get the opportunity and I just grab this opportunity and I will be back as a speaker soon. Thank you so much. And I would like to congratulate you and best wishes for the upcoming session.
Thank you so much, bro. And I believe your brother and sisters are rocking everywhere. And dignitaries are all excellency, are loving us. So they all are inviting us to moderate. So it might be my fourth or fifth session today. So that's just amazing. So we'll do it together. Thank you. Thank you. Greeting all excellency and a very warm welcome to all in today's informative and peaceful session. I'm your host for today, Dr. Madhu Bose. And with your blessings, I'm rocking. So let's start our today's session, a very important. War is cowardly escape from the problem of peace. So here we all are talking about it because we are educationists. And when it comes to so they bring a revolution also in the peace. They cannot be revolutionary in that other way. So education is the, I think, a beginning of peace where we start. So we have all the dignitaries, and today I'm going to call, as I always tell, that I don't have no more celebrities of TV, any other. So I have all the celebrities here. So one of my favorite celebrity, Dr. Kalpana Dixit. Dr. Kalpana Dixit, please, ma'am, we are really curious to hear you and let's bring the change together. Please, ma'am, over to you. Yes, ma'am. Can you unmute yourself?
Yeah. I was thinking you were appreciating me only. I was not expecting my turn to discuss about the peace and challenges of peace, global peace. Actually, peace is a concept. It is just against the war because war is forceful, but peace is also built up, and it is a silent process that will take a long time. So, education is a very strong force to inculcate the value of peace and to spread the peace among all the citizens from one nation to another and from one country to another country. So, if we go through the cognitive part of this peace building activity, that is generally knowledge and understanding and comprehension of the peace. What is actually peace? How can we gather the knowledge about peace? How can we live respectfully? And how can we respect the human value? And how can we inculcate the value among our children about the peace? So this is the way we can inculcate the cognitive aspect of the peace building. And another thing is that the affective domain. Affective domain of peace is that if we internalize that feeling, if we feel that feeling of the war, if we feel sad about the listening the incident of the war and all the tragedy happened in countries of Ukraine there. So if we feel that sentimentally, that is called the affective building of the peace. That definitely we all are affected by actually, peacekeeping is the responsibility of the armed force and the security whether speak about the peacekeeping activities or peacemaking activities. This is the communication language that we can inculcate in the citizen of each and every country. Now we are really watching daily news news about the war and the news that is definitely affected our sentiment. So, if what can we do? We can plan the strategies for the peace building. How can we do? We can do it at local level, we can do it national level, we can do it at international level. Each and every citizens of India and the globe can think and can internalize the thing, that how can we resolve the conflict, how can we build the peace in our country, in our community, in our local NGOs, and in all at international or global level. So this is the way we can inculcate the value of peace. But nowadays are spreading through the social media, as my previous aspect of peace that can be spread by the people of social media and through the social media. So it is generally necessary for us to stop this type of news, and we just analyze what is happening there and what is the background, whether it is political, economic, social, or ego-centric background of that particular war. Because if the war will spread out and will happen at large level, that will definitely affect the economy and humanity also. So we must respect the value of humanity, as well as we can focus on the humanitarian value to be respect the other culture, other nation, and other human beings also. And that can be taught in the school only, so that I can say that in our Indian mythology also there were Bhagwan Gautam Buddha, that was the peace leader, and in political section also Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, they were the peace leaders. So definitely in that time they have done a lot to build the peace, but we are failure in keeping the peace. Why? Why? Because of this conflicting situation. We have our own perspective, whether it is political or economic. We think we want to be the king of the world. We want to be the king of the universe. And this is our egocentric point, egocentric value. And being Indian citizens, it is very difficult time for us to whom we will support, because we are the peacekeeper, we are the social agent, we are the agent of peace. Since our mythological period, present period in Indian justice system, and because we have some economic reason, we have some political reason, we have some a brotherhood neutral in this situation. But indirectly, this war is affecting our peoples also, our students also, and the internet is creating a fire among the students, because I don't know whether how much the news are good or right or true, but there are internet sensation there that Indian students are in trouble, and that is sufficient to create a feeling of war among the students who are already in a peaceful situation. So, my dear friends, I would like to say that try to keep the peace in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, and try to inculcate the value of peace among your children, among your citizens, and among other citizens of the world. And that is my version of today. And thank you, Dr. Rajaram, the beautiful decision to conduct this discussion, panel discussion here, because this is the need of the day. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot. And very truly said that those who are at war with others are not at peace with themselves. I repeat, those who are at war with others are not at peace with themselves. So we need to understand this. where we are creating it. So we have, like, we are even snatching our peacefulness. So from this, I would like to invite our next dignitary, Her Excellency Betty from Betty ma'am from United States of America. Betty ma'am, are you there with us? Hi, Excellency Betty, are you there with us? Okay, let me call our next dignitary, Abimbola Akibinu sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Good afternoon.
Oh, very good afternoon,
evening.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you for having me here. Yeah.
I do understand.
My name is Akibinu Abimbola